Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, a little bit of a technical issue there. Let me just get the right browser here. 1 second. It's just right. Okay, should be good now. Okay, here we go. All right, let's start with this little video right here first, and then I'll get into it.
It's like a drunk Irishman costume or Mexican gang member or maid costume. No, it's not. Those are stereotypes about an ethnicity, a national origin, or another person. This was literally an individual costume dressed up as an individual. The fact that you collectivist, racist piles of garbage want to reduce my individual friend into a skin color and nothing else is frankly disgusting, and you should all be ashamed and consider killing yourselves. How dare you? How dare you take away the autonomy and individuality of my friend and make him simply a mascot for your disgusting race crusade? How fucking dare you? You pieces of shit! I hope all of you die in a nasty, nasty accident. Oh my god. I have to move past the jokes now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've taken an individual black person and made them into a caricature, and you call me the racist? You disgusting people. Hiding behind your whiteness. Wow. How embarrassing for you.
And that was Nick Rekieta. For a bit of context for there, he was talking about his dressing up in blackface, which I'm keeping my word on that. I'm not showing it here because I don't want to be taken down for that. But some big-brained individuals in the chat last night were telling me that it's not a bad look at all to wear blackface. Yet here he is yelling at people in the chat saying, "Hey guys, hey Nick, wearing blackface is racist." Actually, no, Nick corrected them. He schooled them epic style. They're the real racists, not him. Great going there. His individual stance shining through. Glad to hear that out. But we're not here really to talk about that. I just played it because it's funny. Tonight, seems that Nick decided to change his mind. Nick went from, "I'm not going to debate you, you're nobody," to, "I might debate you." Now, we haven't confirmed the time. We haven't confirmed a date. He said that I guess it's interesting. I'm just going to show a few tweets. By the way, I know I said that last night I was going to cover more shit tonight, but shit happens, and I'm going to be kind of busy tonight, so yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, let's just look at what we're going to see. So let's start with this part here. All right, let's get the context of this. So where were we? What happened today? What did I do to piss off these celebs today? As Mr. Fibble said in the chat earlier, in the pre-stream. All right, so I was just here doing my usual thing, telling the I Stand With Nick people that, hey, your legal arguments are fucking retarded because you're getting them from a moron. Here he is saying, why hasn't the lawsuit, been thrown out if it's such a lawsuit though? Come on, we can all tell you're salty at how wasted your movement is compared to us. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, because, you know, on day one, I was there. I created the Kick Vic hashtag. I gave Mars Girl the idea, and I DM'd it to her. I'm part of that specific movement. So this, of course, applies to me. I'm not just calling him a fucking idiot because he believes that this lawsuit has about as much credibility as Maddox suing people because they got called a cuck. So I tell him this rather tamely. I'm going to tag this with I Stand With Vic because I get a bit tired of repeating myself. This is because I've told people about this before. They don't seem to listen. The reason it's not been thrown out is that there is a process by which lawsuits get thrown out. At the current stage of the legal proceedings, the defense have filed a motion to dismiss. Which, yeah, this is 100% accurate, by the way. Like, yeah, there's the whole TCPA thing. Like, have you guys not been paying attention? The judge just can't unilaterally say, "Oh yeah, I think this is frivolous, therefore I'm throwing away." There has to be proceedings for this sort of thing. Now, there might be under some special conditions when the judge might be able to unilaterally do this, but not in this case. And as we know, if he wanted to throw it out, he would have done it already. Based on, or at least That's a reasonable guess based on the transcript of the judge first meeting Ty Beard and asking him if he's actually the client. Just a great lawyer, by the way. All right, so then there's an argument with this guy. I'm not going to read the whole thing, of course. It's just, it would be a waste of your time. And like I said, this is not going to be a long stream. He says, thanks for helping spread how salty you are. I mean, like, if this is the level of argumentation that Nick's going to bring to the table based on the table, and maybe that's a fair assessment because, you know, his students just mimic everything he says. I am so confident that if Nick does have me on, I am going to floor him. Like, yeah. Mr. Fribble says the court shit bores me to tears. Yeah, I don't blame you for being bored by it. Like, the law just isn't a profitable thing. Like, what I should explain it at that because obviously on YouTube, talking about the law shit is boring. You have to spice it up. You have to punch it up. You have to pick like the highlights, the moments where it really matters, and make it funny. Like that's what Nick tries to do. And when he does, and how is this relevant to how he does his business? Well, he has to hype up his stream as much as possible for the entertainment value, because at the end of the day, I think that's the biggest reason why people pay him for what he does. So, moving on, it's a bit of an argument back and forth. Let's just get to the juicy bits. Okay. Oh, wait, who's this? Well, if you recognize this name here, J-Man, he's a guy I debated. Because the whole thing about, because, you know, part of my thing is like challenging the I Stand With Vic people to actually come on a stream and talk about things. They don't seem to want to do that. They seem to want to go ahead and argue past one another. Like, this is the one guy out of I don't know, I'm guessing dozens, maybe it was a dozen. There's a whole bunch of people I've asked, and they all just thumbed their nose at the idea. Nope. And again, behind the scenes, sure, there's been a couple of people. Mr. Fribble also adds, Dick Masterson is the only one who can make court proceedings entertaining. Quite possibly. I can only guess. J-Man says, I haven't seen Dick Masterson's coverage of the biggest lawsuit in the universe thing, though it did sound pretty funny. J-Man says, I talked to 3 people who gave honest opinions. Only 2 criticisms that they had were I was too nice and I stumbled. Granted, I'm not a professional debater. Hell, wasn't even involved with the debate team. But one that criticized me actually was, and in their opinion, I did win. Yeah, I really care about the opinions of the peanut gallery. As far as I'm concerned, when you came here, you were shown to, you were not very competent at your arguments. I have to give you props for showing up. Like, you're the only one who has, but that doesn't mean it was a win. You kept meekly replying. You kept buckling under whenever I bring up a point. You did not bring up enough good counterpoints. And the comment section, people called both of us idiots, and those are people on the I Stand With Dick side. Or some people would say, yeah, this guy wasn't. In fact, there was one guy in the comment section. He said that, yeah, I don't agree with you, but this guy lost. So, no, I'm not buying that. Yeah, you went to 3 friends of yours. And yeah, I'll say it for the record. 3 friends of his, and they gave him this assessment. Like, of course they're going to say, yeah, you won that. Especially if they have the predisposition of being on the side of I Stand With Vic. Especially since the people on I Stand With Vic aren't very good at arguments anyway. Alright, so moving down here. And that's basically the gist of the conversation. As if your friend's a reliable judge. Only one person that critiqued me I would truly consider a friend. So your main guy, okay, that's good at debate. Alright. Again, Twitter stuff is really boring to read out. This is why I generally don't read it. But it's relevant tonight. Okay, so what's this accusation here? Here's the oh, yeah, I have to read this part, though. Only one person that critiqued me I would truly consider a friend. The others are those that had watched the whole debate, then criticized me. Oh boy, they had to take breaks for the whole debate, then criticize me. Pardon me. And oh boy, they had to take breaks for your parts. Plus, you have a guy in your server that's in a hacker group. You hear that, guys? I'm running a hacker server now. Okay, buddy. I don't know what he's referring to. I do remember he DM'd me, and apparently there were some guys that trolled him. I had nothing to do with that. He was invited to join another server, and he took the invite. I don't like people soliciting servers in my server, so I clarified that rule to extend to DMs, but that's on him. Yeah, that's nothing to do with me. I don't know why he's only trying to blame me for any kind of alleged hacking or any kind of alleged trolling shit because he just wants a dunk point. And then he says he can provide proof. And here's his proof. All in rapid succession of each other. One knew my Discord password, but nah, they aren't hackers. And then he shows the screenshots, and it says here, hey J-Man, looks like someone tried to log in your Discord, blah, blah, blah. If this is you, follow the link below, etc. Gives out the IP address and location of the person trying to hack his account. This gets another message the same vein over here. And he's showing like the emails and the browser, etc. I can believe that he was hacked, but him trying to pin this shit on me, that's bullshit. I already explained to him that this isn't my responsibility at all. Like, just protect your shit. That's what you do. And it looks like, based on these screenshots, they weren't successful in hacking his account. So, I don't know why he's got to stick up his ass from this. And then Nick interjects in the conversation right here. I don't know why Nick's interjecting here, because right here I just say, so some people or someone tried to log into your account from other locations, and that means there's a hacker on my server because ... question mark. It's a good question. It needs an answer. And J-Man, if you're listening, how about you try answering the question there instead of just throwing shade and bullshit like that? I don't want to lose respect for you because you did bother to come up with a show, but if you're just going to act like this, I just guess it shows that like you really shouldn't give people the benefit of the doubt on the internet. They'll just stick a knife in you the moment it becomes convenient again. And Rekieta says, what do you even want to debate? I've never heard of you. Who even are you? Like, you know, I call that, like, this is something I'm getting tired of. Like, what happened to when you're on the internet? It didn't matter how many followers you had. It didn't matter who you were. You can talk shit to anybody. You can debate anybody. You can have an argument or conversation with anyone you want. You can interact with anyone. This whole social ladder climbing scheme that these e-celebs come out with. Yeah, Silverstein says, I don't want to debate you. You're not famous enough. Yeah, it's bullshit. It is bullshit. Nick was more than happy to debate a nobody like Shane. And yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Shane was two-faced, he was an idiot, and he lost that debate. He didn't prepare enough, he was stupid, and he was trying these dumb tricks like, oh, you're mad, bro? You mad? Oh, I guess you're frustrated. Oh, you're trying to appeal to the alt-right. And Nick handled himself very well. He beat Shane, and Medica came on and complimented him. And Jim was correct. So why is he having trouble with me? Could it be because I'm not an idiot like Shane is, and Nick is going to just be floored in this debate? And seriously, like I would give myself so much confidence in that, but based on the reaction here, and also based on some of the reaction of some of his friends, which we'll also get into, I think that I don't think it'll be a good look for Nick. I don't. That's the impression I'm getting here. Then he responds with, then I respond, the main thing I would want to debate would be the GoFundMe campaign, which I hold as a scheme for fame and money. And two, I'm someone who's tired of con men and panhandlers exploiting culture wars or other political matters for personal profit at the expense of others. All right, so Nick gives like a big-brained answer because he's got these galaxy takes like we saw at the beginning. There's two problems with your things. One, there's no negative proposition for your assertion. You can hold it to be whatever you want, but what it is facially apparent if you aren't a moron. I mean, dude, you can just defend yourself. Like, seriously, it's not that hard to argue these things. I've seen you do it. I've listened to recordings of you arguing. I don't know if this still exists, but there used to be a recording where he was arguing with Bronx Blogger. I don't know if that still exists anymore, but he did well against that debate. There wasn't any of this formal academic negative propositions that were established and set up. And besides, like, I don't even know if that's an actual term. I looked it up and I couldn't find anything on it. Like, I'm not saying that means that isn't a term that Nick is using, as Nick is just bullshitting here necessarily with that, but Like, you could easily argue, no, I'm not a con man. Here's why, and here's why you're an idiot. He could easily make those points, but that's not it. He's just trying to find an excuse to duck out. And then the second one, you're reading onto others and ascribing motive. Again, what's the negative proposition? Okay, like this isn't even a debate topic as I put over here. It's just like how what I'm saying, where I'm coming from with this, like, and it gives a bit of an explanation why I would approach somebody, and it should be apparent as to why. Like, I mean, I don't get why more people don't take this attitude of, hey, if someone's offering a bill of goods and exploiting a certain community and trying to worm themselves into it, you should push back. Mr. Fibble says, let the grifters farm their pay pigs, Kelly. Who cares? Like, what's the point in shaming pay pigs, really? I mean, it's funny. Haha, you lost all your money to a guy who lied to you. But don't we want the thing to stop? Don't we want these con men to just get out of here? Because eventually, what's going to happen with these culture wars is the left's going to start to notice that the men who are going ahead and saying that, oh yeah, totally save the West, guys. Guys, you can totally get this. You can totally win these lawsuits and just sue the SJWs into bankruptcy, guys. We can totally boycott Gawker, guys, and take credit for it once Hulk Hogan wins this lawsuit retroactively. Which, by the way, Hulk's lawsuit was completely different from what's going on now. So obviously that's the exception to the rule. But in general, these lawsuits that these conservatives are coming up with, like, I saw Jordan Peterson threatening to sue people because they called him a racist. You can't sue someone for having an opinion that's negative about you. Sorry. And yes, the law considers if you're a racist or not to be an opinion. Kids say it's unfair. I agree, it is unfair. Maybe you should be able to sue for that. But reality is, you can't. And I've seen, and like, does anyone know where the Gulag lawsuit is going? It's not going anywhere. James Damore doesn't have a case. He doesn't. It's a spurgy lawsuit made by lawyers more interested in gaining clout than it is by anyone who wants to succeed. And once they start noticing this, they're just going to take that and start dunking on them. Hello, Keith Richardson. How you doing? All right. So, what is Nick's response? All right, I read that part. So, response to the first. This seems to be making the case that debate onto the worth or sincerity of the GoFundMe is not a possible subject matter. Can you not argue for the merits of your own fundraiser? It's a very, very good question. Can he do this? People have been wasting their money on stupid shit since before the internet was a thing. Yeah, but but the thing is, there's a difference. There's a difference between people spending money on things that are not good for them. Which, by the way, I'm not saying that we should just. I mean, yeah, that'd be one thing. Like, if someone has like a bad deal, like let's just say someone charges $100 for a movie ticket. $100 for a movie ticket might be reasonable price like 10 years from now. They'll probably be the cost of admission. But for right now, you can still pay $20 and and see a movie. In fact, it might even be less than like 15 or 10 some places. That's one thing. It's a rip off, but it's not dishonest. Or upfront, the price of admission is $100, and yeah, they should have some kind of responsibility to knowing what prices are. I don't think that they have to disclose what other people are selling. But when Nick says that that this is a lawsuit that has its chance, it's definitely this is worth funding to like save Nick's honor and all this other stuff. He's lying to them. The lawsuit has no chance. It's like Greg Doucette said, they called it a bumptious lawsuit. I don't disagree with that terminology. I don't think it's wrong. It's wrong to lie to people for money. Here's the difference. Difference is consent versus informed consent, which means that when you pay for something that's shit, you know it's shit, and you pay for it anyway. Yeah, that would be informed consent. But when you pay for something you don't know it's shit, and the person gives it to you anyway, no, that's fraud. That's fraudulent. These guys, these 20-something-year-olds that he keeps on getting, like they're in their early 20s. They don't know any better. They don't know about the law. They don't know why. They don't know that Nick is conflating things like malice of intent with actual malice, like he did in his older live streams. And you can look those up. You can see that he's making that clear mistake where, oh look, they intended to do this to defame him. That proves malice of intent. Maybe under Minnesota's criminal statute laws, that argument would apply. But in any kind of civil proceeding with civil defamation, malice of intent is a standard that your person knowingly lied, which means that they knew they lied. Like Like seriously, this is not rocket science. But Nick, hey, he's clever enough. He can spin it that way. It sounds good. He's got a bunch of rabid fans that are angry at social justice warriors for kicking Dick out of conventions and getting him fired. Like, like this is just, and Nick knows better, and he does. He does, and I intend to show that. And that's not the only thing that makes this GoFundMe a scam either. There are so many things wrong with it. I've talked about before. I'll probably talk about it again before the debate if it happens. It depends on a couple of factors as to if there's a debate going to happen at all. Same thing. Got this idiot chiming in. Then he says that this you got this guy chiming in arguing it's not a scam. I retort back with a number of points, mostly things I've said before on the show. Nick responds with, "You aren't a lawyer. Debating law with you will be stupid." Stupid will be interesting, I guess. Are you showing up on Monday then? I'm guessing he means tomorrow. And there's an issue with that. I can't just appear on Monday because I got work the next day. I mean, I might be able to if we can limit it to an hour. No objection there. But honestly, I think that we honestly, why don't you just take up the original date that I proposed in the first place? This Wednesday, regular time you do your show, I can be there. You don't, that's not a good time for you? Friday, Saturday. One of those is good. Or even, let's see. Or even if you want to change the time to 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. as I say here. And Nick says, "Ha ha ha, no. You are nowhere near interesting enough for me to reschedule the show." I don't know, guys. That sounds like an excuse to me. Sounds like an excuse that someone's making to avoid a debate. Like, like, there shouldn't be an issue here. You get more content, and like people pay money to call me names. Like people be donating saying "Crybaby Kelly" and "Oh, that autistic beta cuck" and "that soy boy filled bitch." They can call me all kinds of names, and he'll make a lot of money off of it. He could do it in the morning. He could do it in the afternoon. He could do it in the evening. So what's going on, Nick? Come on, don't you want that? He doesn't have an excuse at all, and I don't make a dime out of this. So what's going on here? What's going on, big guy? All right, and then I say I'm going to be offline. Okay, that's where the conversation ends. More bants back and forth. Oh, there's been a lot of notifications after this. People are mad. People are mad. I have the audacity to challenge Nick and to call his lawsuit and his GoFundMe a scam. Like, Silverstein says, make sure you make a backup of the stream in case Nick decides to nuke it after. Oh, I fully intend to simulcast the stream here. Like, so there's not going to be an issue with that. While he's having his stream over there, you could instead watch over here if you really want to. I'll find a way to make it entertaining. I don't want to play anything over like the conversation, so it won't be that different. There'll be different backgrounds and stuff. Oh, I did find this meme funny, so I'll show this. Oh, dang it. Let's go back. There we go. Hey, where is it? Where'd it go? Polly the Polar Bear says, "Thank you for your donation." It shows that John Michael Kelly just now donated $50. $50 on a troll sounds a little much, but okay, that did get a chuckle out of me. I'll give him credit where it's due. So something else that Nick said. Let's see if I can find it. All right, underneath the ha 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 no, he says, depends what happens this week. This is something I am about 0% interested in. Guys, he's about 0% interested in this. Yet here he is tweeting at me after he just dismissed me as some kind of princess and telling me that he's going to have me on the show. But he's not. Guys, he is totally uninterested in this. This is not bothering him one little bit. He is not at all shaking his boots right now, wondering how he's going to defend himself once I go on there. Couple more comments from the chat. Nick had NBA on. He was a no one in the so-called Dragon Ball community. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I didn't think of that, actually, now that you might bring that up. There's a whole bunch of nobodies who only have made a name on themselves off of Comicsgate or I Stand with Vic. Now, keep in mind, nobody knows about nobody cares about Comicsgate for the most part. Like, you have the social justice warriors from the comics industry who are upset by Comicsgate existing, and you have the people who are upset with the social justice warriors. But outside of that niche who care about the political side of things, like there's not this big a focus of attention on the whole Comicsgate thing. Like, not all the comics. Like, honestly, I don't want to even. I'm not. No, I'm not going to qualify that one. I think that Comicsgate is shit. I think that they're dumb and stupid. I think that our business models are kind of gay. I don't like it. And honestly, I just want to see. I want to see that die just as much as I want to see this GoFundMe die. To be frank, like, I don't get why they think that this doing like. I don't get why they think this is going to work out. Like, here's the thing. If you really want to stop the social justice warrior invasion happening, like stop focus on this dumb culture war mentality. It doesn't work. I think it's demonstrably proven that all this brouhaha doesn't work. You know what works? Make your own shit. I don't mean that like, oh, well, you shouldn't have a place in the industry. I mean, if you make your own shit, you don't politicize it, and it's good, people will buy it. That's still the reality. If you're able to do that, you'll be fine. And honestly, when it comes to comic books, what are you fighting over? Marvel and DC Comics? I heard DC Comics was struggling last I checked. Marvel Comics has been struggling for years, and I don't really see them getting out of that. I don't see these companies, these big companies, really existing in the future because they're all going to go digital. And here's the thing about that. You can compete with digital comics just fine by releasing your comics digitally. Like, that's my honest opinion on this. Just compete when it comes to the whole Comicsgate thing. But Nick will gladly give him a platform. Nick will give people who have people on there who are NBA equals Mad Black Entertainment. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Like, I have never heard of that guy. Like, he's what, big in the Dragon Ball community. Like, that if he's gonna have nobodies like that in the show, there's no reason he can't have me. And Fibble says Nick should definitely debate you. I think it would be fun. Exactly. If nothing else, people be entertained by it. I see no negative to this at all for any of the parties involved. Let it happen. Oh, I do see one. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I do see one negative. I think people wake up to Nick Rekieta's bullshit, but shh. Just keep that under your hat. Hat, okay, guys? And let's read the rest of this tweet here. You're going to come into a hostile territory, and 100 people are likely going to pay me to call you a beta cuck. Okay. Let them. That sounds funny. Let them pay you money to call me names. I'm fine with that. That's a great argument. That's really, really going to support your points here. If literally nothing interesting happens, I'm not doing the show. Well, your show's kind of boring anyway most nights. Like, the only time people tune in is when there's like stuff going with with these controversy that you had up. Silverstein says, "I will only pay you names if people pay me." Yeah, exactly. Like, he's not genuine when he does this stuff. He's just in this because he's very smart. He's savvy at getting an audience, getting traction to himself. He's smart running scams and schemes that personally benefit him. Like, hey, fund my lawsuit. Then I'll cover the lawsuit on my show to generate content. And then with that money I'm getting from and then on top of that, I'm going to play up the case as much as possible, just short of saying it's going to be a definite win, so no one can call me out on the bullshit that I'm peddling. And I'm going to emphasize how much these guys are betas and cucks, and that the social justice warriors are just big crybabies. I'm going to say all these edgy and provocative things just to get more attention. But it's exposure, John. Nick Kingmaker Rekieta. Nick's not. I think this king's going to get dethroned. I think he's going to get deposed. I don't think he's going to win the debate. It's not because of this, what Nick's response is here, but some of the other responses, which we'll get to in a minute. I did respond to this tweet also. I'm just going to put this up so that way it's made clear that it exists, because I quote tweeted my response. I didn't reply to it. I'm also going to pin it to my profile as well. Okay, just put that on screen real quick. There we go. Okay. Axis Fiver says, comics got paused in the 90s. Comicsgate is incel GG. They latched onto the next thing. Most folk who follow Comicsgate don't even read comics. I think that's an accurate assessment for the most part. Like, yeah. Silverstein adds, only missing is Coleslaw and V-Click inserting themselves into Comicsgate. That would be funny. I would love for them to do that. Let them suddenly get interested in comics. I bet they would latch onto it. Alright, so I tagged with the I stand with Vic, just so that way people's attention get people's attention. And I mentioned about the zero interest thing. And the other point. And I also add Wednesday at the usual time of 11 p.m. CST, which is midnight EST for everyone else, pretty much. Except those who live in England and Australia, and pretty much the rest. You get the point. So, yeah. I just need Nick to confirm when we're going to do this, or if we're going to do it, because he hasn't said yes yet. He's gone with a maybe. He's gone with a proposal. I wasn't able to accept that one, so I offered him this one. And in fact, I'm still open to negotiating. And if Nick wants to set up rules to be more favorable to him, so that way, there's no foul play or whatever, I'll probably throw in a couple of my own. That's fine by me. We can talk about it in DMs. Or we can even talk about it on Twitter. Or we can even do it live on air. If Nick's listening, he can come on the show and we can set it up. And then everyone will know what the ground rules are and everything will be blocked in. I think this sounds good to me. I think people are for this. I think it should happen. And I think if it doesn't happen, I think someone's a bit of a chump. I think someone's a bit of a chump because they're afraid that they're going to go ahead and have some of their positions shown to be just semi-fucking retarded. Alright. But I also show some other reactions. Now look who showed up. Look who showed up. A couple of jokers showed up. I mentions. People I haven't seen before. Happened while I was away. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, let's start with Gator first. Yeah, you guys remember Gator? All right, let me play a little audio clip to refresh your memory. I know most of you are aware of the Puerto Rican Pussy Slayer clip. We'll play that at the end. We're not gonna play that one right now. Let me get it. It's the audio clip that matters here. Let me play that on stream. Just to show the mindset of how Gator acts and things, and why he's often called a Redditor. I know I have it. Just gotta. There we go again. We can't go without a night without me missing a link, or in this case, a file. Look at videos here. There we go. Let me find it because it's a good one. Here we go. This is Gator giving his thoughts on Cal when he was talking to the pinecone lady. You might be familiar with the woman who shoved a pinecone off her ass that Andy later fucked. The one that Andy was having issues at the time, and Gator was in the public siding with Andy and private siding with the pinecone chick. Let's see what he has to say about Cal.
Yeah. The thing is that if you worry about what people think about you on the internet, it's just going to consume you and who you are, and you'll always be trying to please them and go against yourself and who you are. I've been trying to tell her that it doesn't matter what people say about her. Just be true to ignore the haters. Don't pay attention to Cow. Don't pay attention to the dumb shit that Andy's saying. Just be yourself. And everything else will take care of itself.
Very true. They'll either like you or they won't. I mean, if you're a decent person, they'll like you no matter what.
Exactly.
And get friends that follow you.
And if the haters don't like you, then fuck the haters, honestly. Because a lot of these people they hate everyone. And they hate everyone and they want to destroy everyone, so you're never going to please them. So why? Why try?
Exactly.
That was Gator telling the pinecone Kirsten, "Don't look at Cal. It's bad for you. You gotta stop looking at Cal, man. They're gonna rip you off the shreds. And there's just some people out there that just want to destroy the world. Oh no! This guy's pathetic. He really is. Like, what is Gator even doing these days? All right, so what's he say on Twitter? Let's see. I mean, there's plenty of ways you could approach this, but what's the one that he picks? And he just previously sent me another reply. Wonder if he's listening to this show. That'd be pretty funny. Let's see. Maybe I'll give him a live reply and tell him to come on here. That'd be pretty fun. Okay, scrolling down a bit. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Back to the browser. Just paste this right in here. John is a spurg from Gamergate who constantly got into fights with other autists, told his deepest, darkest secrets to Lady Fuzztail about his sexuality, and associate with people that were doxing the Ralph Retort supporters. Well, that last one, John Kelly, sounds pretty badass. Ralph Retort's a cuck. Let him dox the supporters. He probably wants to bang one of those co-hosts. One of the what? Wait, one of the cost thoughts? Oh, does he mean cosplaying thoughts? I have no fucking idea what he's talking about. This is just what I know. He put this with the whole probably thing. Gator loves doing these kind of weaselly sort of things where he just implies an accusation without actually standing by it. But the ones he stands by are just complete bullshit. Like, what's he talking about that I told my deepest, darkest secrets to Lady Fuzztail about my sexuality? Does he really believe? Did that tranny tell him that? Is he fucking retarded? And he believes that? I don't think he is that retarded. I think he's just saying that. I just think he's just spreading bullshit to throw more shade at me. And this is after Nick says that, yeah, expresses willingness to debate me. So the thing here is that Gator wants to poison the well early. That's exactly what he's doing. That's why he's spreading lies, blatant and total lies about me. And about doxing people who are associated with the Ralph Retort, prove it. I didn't do that. That's not what I did. Are you kidding me? And then he says here, and then soon, a little bit ago after I gave my reply here, Gator says, I insulted you numerous times during and after GG, called you out several times in the Discord for being an idiot and wrong. You're a spurg and a liar. KOP got his shit and life together. Why can't you? He's talking about, like what I said here. Gator, it took you a year to attack me and you choose the precise moment of confronting Slick. I mean, yeah, it's true. There was confrontation between me and him in Discord, but just to clarify, I meant on Twitter, so yeah, I guess he got me there. I'm wrong. It's just the Discord thing. That's the Discord bants that nobody sees, is held privately behind the scenes and nobody knows about. That's the thing that really matters. Is exactly what I was talking about there. You got me. But as far as being a spurg and a liar, well, you just spurged out and lied. I don't know why you're thinking that that's a good idea to call me that. Oh, and look at this part. When the fuck did this happen? KOP got his shit and life together. Oh man, dude, KOP's never getting his shit together. That's just never gonna happen. Give it time. Give it a year or two. Like, he will spurg out again and again and again and again and again because he can't help himself. KOP is a pathological liar. He's a faggot. He's a degenerate. Like, he's a loser. He always needs the attention. I mean, like, what happened? Did he have like a? Did he go to like a psychiatrist? Did he give him like some hardcore drugs that fixed him up? I don't think there's a cure for autism. I don't think there's a cure for the kinds of schizophrenic things that go through his head. I don't think there's a cure for a guy that lies about his wife. Oh man, I wish I had more time. I'd go into Keenan Pool. Oh man. By the way, Gator, if you're listening, why don't you come on the show and defend yourself? Man. Okay, what else we got? Oh, and there's one more person here. One more person. Oh, and a few comments from the chat, though, first. Scroll a bit. See. Keith says, no filibustering Rekieta, no sargunning either, Nick. Maybe. I don't think there'll be rules like that. I would just say things like, hey, don't invite other people on the stream. Let's keep it to an hour. Keep interruptions to a minimum. Maybe even not even that one, but we'll see. I wouldn't be. It depends on what he's asking for either. Like, and like just to throw one in his favor, using any kind of like terminology that might get the channel struck down, because that would not be the intent or the goal. So those are all good with me. Do they mean coleslaw in the Daily Beast art? Do they mean coleslaw in the Daily Beast article on 8chan? Yeah, Acid Man got a mention in that article. Let's just hope he just gets his shit together so they don't find out more about him, because that would be hilarious for the Daily Beast to start. Man, if the Daily Beast actually finds his terroristic manifesto, damn. I will laugh my ass off if they find that and they talk about it. I'm not going to help them find it or anything like that, but if they find out about that shit, that would be hilarious. Keith Richardson says Gator is fat. So says Scott Steiner. Yeah, Gator's fatter than Ralph. He is huge. He's the size of 2.5 guns. He should be Gator. Ralph is the gun prince. Gator is the gun king. Axis Fiver says a Twitter user called Acid Overlord, a self-described veteran of misogynistic Gamergate harassment campaign, has taken credit for creating 8chan. Internet veterans. Back in my day, he told those feminists to get out of our gaming hobby. Wouldn't listen, so we went ahead and sent emails to a bunch of companies. We got their I should do a reading of some of the spurgy stuff that Acid Man would write about Gamergate. If I can find them, I might just do an episode like that, because it'd be funny as hell to me. Okay. Mr. Fribble says, show yourself, Gator. Gonna press exit out and that happening. Silverstein says, Lady Fuzztail, the one that rolls with the Taco Masters crew. Yeah, that one. Axis Fiver says, Gator, oof. Lel, Gator, all get your shit together, priceless. Yeah, in fact, to my knowledge, Gator works at Trader Joe's, a retail outlet. I mean, come on, dude. Pot me kettle. What are you going to say next? Get off the internet? Stop spending so much time on this? I mean, I know. You know what Gator should say? Gator should accuse me of being too attached to Gamergate. I mean, this guy right here. That'd be hilarious if he did that. You can see why. I mean, this is just the cringiest shit. Why would you ever moniker yourself after is he trying to be a furry? Oh, I'm sorry, a scaly? Is that it? If there's a secret history to Gator and its degenerate lifestyle, I want to know about it. Pipple says Hot Wheels has some interesting posts about 8chan on Twitter today. We have time for that. I'll check them out next show. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go into other topics tonight. I just want to make this quick. Silverstein says, Cuck Wheels. Yep. Hot Wheels is a cuck. Fuck him. Fuck the ground he rolls upon. And fuck that guy. Stabbing 8chan in the back and causing it to shut down. Just go kill yourself. Seriously. Fuck off. I have nothing nice to say about that guy. I never will say anything nice about him ever again. Or probably not. There might be some good he does in the future. I'll have to say, yeah, give the devil credits to or whatever. But you get the point. Axis Fiver says, oof, coleslaw is dumb to take credit for 8chan. Yeah, that's the thing about Acid Man at the end of the day. I think his biggest fault, really, at the end of it, looking back on the whole thing, was he was too much of a name bag. He was too much of a... Actually, no, that was always his biggest fault. What am I talking about? I always call him out for that. He's always taking credit, always having to put himself out there. Bibble says, poor Hot Wheels. I'm sorry, I just don't have any sympathy for the guy. The thing with Hot Wheels is that, he killed 8chan. He helped kill it. He encouraged it to be shut down, and he basically said a bunch of bullshit about how to moderate the board. and how it should be done, and how he blamed 8chan for the shootings. That's like, and he worked with the New York Times to do that. What's wrong with you? There's no like unless maybe he comes out with a huge fucking apology for everything. Even then, do I want to accept that guy's apology? Now I feel like checking it out. All right, I might check it out, but I want to get into one more person who contacted me. There's a lot of people out in the woodwork, a lot of people who are salty. Some of the things I said and done back in the day. They don't like me. Fuck them. They're no like. Maybe I'll show them in a future stream. Maybe I won't. Don't really care. But let's take a look. Ethan Ralph. Oh yeah. Go to 30 minutes in to listen to him literally cry when people confront him about being a worthless human. Gator, have you seen this before? LOL. It's an old school cut. Yeah. I think we're familiar with this. Negro Joe played part of it when he was on the stream. I don't really care. This is old news as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, there was a private recording where I spent 5 hours arguing with a guy that was defending a pedophile advocate. That happened. And I didn't do so well at the end of it. I think I did good for like the first 4.5 hours, I'm going to say, based on my memory. I'm not really one to go back and listen to old debates I had. Other people seem obsessed with doing that, though. That's fine. And yeah, I cried a bit. Like, honestly, can you blame me, though? Here's the thing. They keep on, like, they just completely ignore the context of this thing. None of the people bother to realize that, yeah, they recorded me. They didn't really, they never once told me about it. I only brought up, like, I asked them if they recorded, and I stupidly said I don't care. That was a mistake, but they recorded those first 15 minutes when we started arguing, and I was already in the middle of it. There's no way I would be able to take that back. And also, you know what? I'm going to show something. I'm going to show why this is completely disingenuous as fuck, and why Ralph is especially a piece of shit. Let's see. For anyone listening, I might actually, you know what? I would shove this in Ralph's face, but I'll tell you why this is especially funny to me. It's not because of this. It's just like a bit of a side point. Let me look it up. Let's see. Okay. So, the whole thing that everyone's using is a big dunk point when it comes to Keith Richardson brings up Lily Fang. Yeah, it's another good point. Like, Ralph has no fucking morals. He published those articles about Lily Fang. I defended him at the time. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. But the point is, if he wants to talk about human garbage, somebody died. I don't know, guys. I probably should have defended him at the time. But somebody fucking died, and he makes money off of that shit. And, like, he lets Wild Goose post his troll articles, like, saying, haha, isn't it funny this girl died? And he wants to talk about human garbage? Are you kidding me? He wants to take this moral grandstanding with me? But let's leave that alone, because you know what? I'm not sure about that, if that's really a big, bad thing. Honestly, no. It's not something I can endorse. It's not something I can do. Honestly, in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have gone on board with that. Like, I didn't like that people were going ahead and virtue signaling about it, and like saying like, oh, this is such a tragedy and going on about that. I didn't like the manner they did it, but you know what? Maybe defending Ralph on that one was a bit too far. It was a bridge far too near. But I'm not here to talk about Li Fang. What I'm talking about is Allison Rapp. Oh, what's this? He's written this general article about, is it right to cheer when political enemies lose their jobs over controversial comments? When they're advocating for shit like pedophilia, yes. But that's not the point. Let's take a look at this. Outed prostitute Allison Rapp unloads on sex-negative Sarkeesian. No, not that one. So let's see. Look how much he decided to go ahead and profit off of the Allison Rapp controversy. That bitch who published that disgusting thesis and got hired by Nintendo, a children's company, when this woman was fully in favor of endorsing child pornography and defending people who were holding child pornography too on her Twitter profile, on her Twitter page, that was linked with her Nintendo work. It's got all these articles here. More of the Allison Rapp story. Don't hire SJWs. Now, that faggot that everyone's cheering on is saying that I shouldn't have written that article because that bitch got fired. But the thing is, Ralph's perfectly fine getting them fired himself. So he's a fucking hypocrite. And you know what I didn't write, Ralph? I didn't write this. I didn't write, not this one. Let's see. There's one article I remember. I'm going to show it. Time to go. Nintendo under fire from British tabloids over sicko Allison Rapp. Let's read more about this. I didn't advocate anyone get fired, by the way. I brought it up, but I wasn't the one who in the piece that said, yeah, this bitch should be fired. I brought it to everyone's attention. Bibble says in chat, I thought Kelly about to drop the bomb about Ralph murdering and raping a girl behind an Arby's in 1995. I mean, it was said so many times, I'm starting to believe that Ralph actually did rape and murder a girl behind an Arby's in 1995. I mean, can't prove it, can't confirm it. I just got a sneaking suspicion that maybe that's true. Let's see what Ralph has to say about this. I've sort of been staying out of controversy over Nintendo employee Allison Rapp. Why? Well, for one, I've been moving out away from that sort of thing. And I just so feel like I've engaging with some of my critical critics within Gamergate. But since I've written more about GG than anyone else on the planet, fuck them. I'll pull out whatever I want. If they don't like that, I'm sure they can go write their local representatives. Get in those bans, Ralph. Got to get those bans in. The other reason I figured it was time to weigh in on this is because the Daily Mirror, a British tabloid, jumped in yesterday. Here's what they had to say. Nintendo was facing calls to sack a feminist employee who penned a highly controversial academic essay quoting whether it was morally correct to censor child pornography. A number of people have taken to Twitter and urged the Japanese firm to fire Allison Rapp, who works as a product marketing specialist for Nintendo of America, and has been responsible for promoting some of the family-friendly firm's most famous games. In 2012, she pulled a paper discussing child pornography in Japan, which has come under international pressure to tighten its laws on the depiction of underage sex. Rapp, who wears a ring through her nose and tweets using the language of combative modern feminism, then drew the attention of male activists who dug out the old paper earlier this year and began discussing it in the Reddit threads and publishing articles on Medium. One of those articles being mine, and the one that, Ralph is now bragging about that, someone reduced him to tears about it. I like how Mare pointed out her nose ring. You gotta love that classical tablet tweaking. Well, you don't have to, but I do. Anyway, this woman is a sicko. I don't know how else to put it. Advocates of child pornography should not be working at a place like Nintendo in any capacity whatsoever. She's not a journalist or some sort of thought leader. She works for a video game company who markets their products to children. Since I feel like there is a massive distinction I think she should either step down or be fired immediately. If you have children, I would ask you to petition Nintendo personally at the customer service line listed below. I would advise against emails for something like this, although if that's all you can do, send one of those. Also, old school letters to the mail, might be a good idea as well. Highlight your disgust and tell the Nintendo rep that you don't plan to buy any more of their products as long as Miss Rapp is on staff. Spread this all over social media. Get other parents to call in as well. She is now on the ropes with this Mirror report, so it might not take much to get her out of there. I didn't write a call to action. I didn't say that she should be fired in that article. Yeah, he's celebrating this guy reducing me to tears because that faggot thinks that's a great idea to defend pedophile advocates. And those same fuckers in that call who recorded it without my knowledge and then held it over my head for half a year, like as a bit of leverage, just a little blackmail. That's fun. That moral, just doing morally reprehensible shit because it's funny. Then it's okay. Oh, and he ends it with this. It's time to close the deal, people. Of course, he also leaves a customer care number. What a fucking hypocrite. What a goddamn disgrace, Ralph. Ralph, I don't know what happened, but at a certain point you lost your sense of shame. Well, that's not completely true. Everyone knows you get upset over being called a fat ass. Everyone knows you get upset over attacks against your looks. That's the one thing you have a sense of shame about. But you never ever do anything about it, which is funny. And which is why we'll continue to laugh at you at your size and weight. Oh boy. But here's the kicker. That isn't even the big thing. The big thing is, the thing that really makes this funny is this. Open up this. I'm going to do this, and then you'll see for a second. See, this is an incognito window. This is not a regular window. Let's change this over to... Okay. Is this showing up on screen all right? Yeah. He tweets, this coward, absolute coward, even more spineless than Nick Rekieta, has me blocked, and he's tagging me in this, telling him, oh, look at this cuck boy. You can't even stand to have me in your sight on fucking Twitter. And you're tweeting this shit. Get fucked, Ralph. Okay. Alright. So, I thought this was pretty funny. Nick, Slick Nick, I think we should formally schedule a time and date. Really do think that's on the priority right now. Whatever, you're free to DM me. You're free to go ahead and tweet at me, and we can set this up. The best time, in my opinion, would be midweek, Wednesday, as I originally said. And Silverstein points out he's doing a Monday Matt. Yeah, this is Monday Matt style behavior. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say this. There's no difference between Monday Matt and Ethan Ralph. They're both shitty e-celebs who lie for money, who go ahead and eat and consume everything so that they're this huge rotund turds that go about and say one thing one day and just do the exact opposite the other day. They both love the limelight, being captured on film and showing pictures of themselves and showing who they're friends with and bragging about it. Ralph, you are Monday Matt. There's no difference between you and him at all. All right. So that wraps things up for today. I want to get some more stuff that's been happening. I just don't have time tonight. There's some stuff I got to do tonight, unfortunately. But tomorrow night, I'll do another stream tomorrow night if I can. I might be busy then. So we'll see. Okay, so let me just check something real quick. And then I think that we'll be done. I just want to be sure of something here. And after that, let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right, one more. Couple more. All right, so a couple more things. Pipple says that was a low blow. I respectfully disagree. I don't think there's much of a difference between the two of them, or any difference for that matter. All right, let me just post this here. Look who showed up. You see what I mean? All the people I've made mad over the years are coming out of the woodwork now. They don't want me to go up against Nick. They know this will be bad for Nick. This is why I have such confidence I will do greatly against him. Because they all fear me. They all are there, going ahead and trying to say, no, look at this guy. He did this, that, and the other thing. John Kelly is literally a waste of space with zero ethics. I love how he fought for ethics in journalism, but can't apply it to himself in his day-to-day life. Okay, first off, yeah, it's true. I regrettably did fight for journalistic ethics, but journalistic ethics are fucking retarded. There's a reason why I fucking changed my mind on that stance. Journalistic ethics shouldn't be any different than what people normally fucking do in their moral day-to-day life. And secondly, I have to repeat myself. Why is it that if I'm such a piece of shit, you want Nick to avoid me? Wouldn't you want me to go on a show and get absolutely demolished by him? And also, Geek, I've heard a rumor around the grapevine, saw some screen caps to back this up, that you are pretending that your child is that people are calling CDC on you, Child Protective Services on your kid. You were using your fucking kid as a point for internet debates and clout. If that's true, well, yeah, you're just a fucking piece of shit, all through and through. Well, you're a piece of shit anyway, so I don't understand why I'm even emphasizing that. Look who this is. Remember this guy, Jack Pierce? You probably don't. He used to go by another name, Johnny Fox. According to him, docs is a requirement of journalism. Okay, I did say that. I did say something similar to that, actually. Not that exactly, but when you do journalism, when you go about and look through people's past and their online history and stuff like that, you are going to find out personal details about them. You're going to find out where they live. You're going to find out who they are. You're going to find out lots of stuff about their personal lives and report on it. This happens all the time in news. When you look up on the news, they say a man from such and such county, such and such place, did this. He looks like this. His name is this, etc. When the news reports on people, if they go by a pseudonym, if their name is known, they're going to publish their real name. This is how journalism works. This is why doxing isn't always wrong. It depends on the context. Like, that's a thing that people have to get. So, and by the way, Johnny Fox, remember that time you decided to take pictures of my family and post them on your Twitter? Pepperidge Farm remembers. So, you have no fucking moral high ground to go ahead and be saying that shit. Boy. Boy, oh boy. Alright, I had to get out of it. I had to get a couple more. I guess I was going to end the stream, but a couple of people decided, hey, I want to get dunked on too. Dunk on me. So, okay. Request granted. Alright. So, I'm going to play you with a clip that I promised. I have this file saved as Gator Sex God, and he's going to tell you all about his Puerto Rican pussy slang abilities. And those of you who don't get that reference will get it now. Alright, have a good night, everyone. Wish I could stay longer. Can't do that tonight. Actually, you know what? This is a good time to end the stream with an hour in. Peace the fuck out.
All right. What was the craziest blonde you dated, Gator?
Oh boy. She was part Puerto Rican. I'll just leave off of that.
What does that mean? What is she...
Have you ever dated a girl that's of Puerto Rican descent or a Puerto Rican mix?
No.
So let me describe it. So
they
it's
talk
like
about their country wanting to be a state a lot or something like that. What is a Puerto Rican girl like?
There's just there's something about Puerto Rican women that just they're really nice and you have a great time, but then it's just kind of like you're sitting there one day and somebody walked over and flipped the switch from loving to Murderbot 5000 and they are just in there yelling and you don't even know what they're yelling. You're just kind of like, am I about to get stabbed right now? What's happening?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It just they turn on you. Like a pit bull, they just turn.
I think that might be all Latino women, not just Puerto Ricans. That problem might be bigger than you think it is.
Well, it made it worse because she was my first college girlfriend, and boy,
What would she do? Throw shit?
Well, the story. So I was playing video games. I want to say it was Halo Reach at the time, and she got super pissed off for no reason. Just because I was playing Halo Reach instead of doing something like mundane. I can't remember what it was. I like didn't take the trash out or something. And she was just fucking throwing shit at me from across the room. And I'm just like, what the just like screaming at the top of her lungs. Like what the fuck?
Hmm.
And then I kid you not, but like 3 hours later, like I go into my room and she follows in after me. And she just 100% just wants to fuck like out of nowhere. And I was confused. I was completely like, how did this change from, you want me to die to now you want to fuck me to death?
You never know what's going to happen with the Puerto Ricans. Is that what you're saying, Gator?
No, you never know.